Hayle here. I'm just here to share a resource with you on your learning journey to naturalizing Indigenous ways of being and knowing into your curriculum and into your practice, to also help you shift your worldview and perspective to one that is open to Indigenous ways of being. Now, I celebrate you for watching this video. I celebrate you for even joining us on this journey of opening your perspective and shifting your worldview to help change the narrative of Indigenous education and education in general, to make our schools a safer space for our kids. Now, the resource I'm going to share with you isn't one that you might read to your students, but it's one that you will read for yourself to help you understand Indigenous sovereignty over knowledge, to help you have a perspective, like a right perspective on Indigenous knowledge, what you can share, what knowledge is considered sacred, the ways in which you might go about accessing knowledge, and most importantly, now that we're in a pandemic era, how to share this type of knowledge on digital platforms. For example, your Google Classroom or your Zoom classroom meetings that you have with your students, because we don't know if COVID's going to be going away anytime soon. And for us up in the north, we might actually be going on lockdown sometime in the near future again. So just because we're in a pandemic, I've been telling educators that Indigenous education doesn't take a back seat because we are just relearning how to teach in a pandemic year. I think it's an opportunity for us to put Indigenous education at the forefront of what we're doing so that we can get rid of any of those bad habits that we've created in the past. It's an opportunity for us to shed the old and to grow in our practice and who we are, to shift our perspectives, to learn new things. What else am I going to share here? I celebrate you for being on this journey with us. And I just want to let you know that, yes, you're going to make mistakes. That's okay. In my way, in our tradition, if somebody corrects you, it's because they respect you. So think about that when somebody corrects you and gives you feedback. Now, the way that they deliver that feedback is important too. So don't be giving any attention to the critics too much if they're going to be toxic. But it is important to consider where you're getting information from, how you're accessing it, how you're sharing it, what protocols you are using, how you're acknowledging Indigenous communities for this knowledge. Does the community have sovereignty over this knowledge? Do they have data security? That sort of thing. This book is called Digital Bundle, Protecting and Promoting Indigenous Knowledge Online. It is a fabulous resource that is going to help you start to play with that concept of who does knowledge belong to, and how do we access knowledge in a culturally safe way where we are giving it, we're acknowledging communities in which knowledge comes from. How do we protect this knowledge, and how do we refrain from abusing it and exploiting communities and their sacred knowledge that they're sharing with us? So this book explores a lot of that, and it's going to help you expand your worldview, and it's just going to help you create a culturally safe learning environment for your students. That's about it. It's kind of like a research paper, but I love that. So it's for your own learning as an educator. It's going to help you a lot. Anyways, before I talk too much about this resource and go on and on and on, Kwam Nadu for your time. And again, I celebrate you for being on this journey with us. See ya.